U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has become the first top U.S. diplomat to visit an Israeli settlement in the occupied West Bank. Washington recognized Israel's claim to parts of the region last year, but the move hasn't been recognized internationally. Pompeo said the Trump administration was proud of what it had achieved in its relations with the Jewish state. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanked President Trump for moving its embassy to Jerusalem and described the Israel-US alliance as having reached unprecedented heights. In a major policy shift, Pompeo announced that the State Department will now label products from settlements as made in Israel. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now by Hall Gardner, who is a professor at the Department of International and Comparative Politics in Paris. Thanks very much for speaking with us here.
Thank you. Thank you
We've seen over the past 4 years that relationship between the US and Israel really strengthened, much to the chagrin of the Palestinians. Is this visit by Pompeo a final hurrah before the Trump administration is shown the door?
Well, I think it's true that for the first time, the Trump administration is reversing U.S. policy and legitimizing the Israeli occupation of the West Bank and the Golan Heights. Before this, U.S. didn't recognize Israeli settlements as legitimate. So there's several factors at play here. The first, he's also, in addition to legitimizing the settlements, he's legitimizing the products made in the settlement so that they can be sold in the American market as made in Israel. Furthermore, on the domestic side, he is trying to get white evangelical votes because about 1/3 of the state of Georgia is pro-evangelical and might vote for Trump in the 2 senator races that are still standing in the United States. So there's domestic and international factors here. Internationally, the game is to tighten the Israeli alliance with the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. So he's really playing a multiple chessboard here, and in my view, it's a very dangerous one.
What happens then when Biden takes the presidency in January?
Okay, there's still hope if Biden really takes a stand and moves forward. First thing is the U.S. recognition of Israel's capital in Jerusalem isn't necessarily done and finalized. In other words, Biden can support a capital in East Jerusalem. He can also begin to restore relations between the U.S. and the Palestine Authority and the PLO. He can begin to give the Palestinians back the financial aid and assistance for projects that the United States had provided them before the Trump administration came to power. But he's got to start a new peace negotiation process as soon as possible after this. And Trump is really thumbing his nose at Biden to try to put a block in the works.
Hall Gardner there, joining us from Paris. Thank you very much.